Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we are looking at the Shadoll, or my Shadoll deck profile. It's the best I can currently do and it's been performing well. I am going to be testing it out tomorrow at my locals instead of playing my normal Autogeist, because I do play Geist, but it's my friend's deck that I'm actually trying to work on. So yeah, this Shadoll I'm going to try it. I'm going to test it out tomorrow at my locals and see how it does, and then see if I can actually do a combo video if I get a set combo down. My normal combo is making a certain link with a certain monster underneath it, so you'll see that later. First, we'll start with the main deck, and I believe it's 28 monsters and 12 spells. So, 3. Shadoll Squamata. Squamata is your Foolish Burial for the deck. It works well with Mathematician and Armageddon Knight, because if you send it with Mathematician, then you can then send Beast, and if it's flip face up, you can target one monster in the field and destroy it, which is actually quite nice, so you can trigger your other Shadoll's effects. 2 Beast. Beast, if it's flip face up, draw 2 cards and discard 1, and if it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, like so by Squamata, Armageddon Knight, Construct, Foolish Burial, you are allowed to draw 1 card with no extra cost attached. Next, 2 Shadoll Hedgehog. When it's flip face up, you can add 1 Shadoll spell or trap from your deck to your hand, so that's going to get you your Shadoll Fusion or your Elf Shadoll Fusion. And when Shadoll Hedgehog is sent to the grave by a card effect, you're allowed to add any of your Shadoll monsters from your deck to your hand, which is quite nice. That can get you into a Falco, Beast, Re-Shadoll, Quad Shadoll, or Ned Shadoll as well, in Squamata. Next is 2 Falcos. Seems that every deck has a Falco these days. Next you know we're going to get a Falco Punch. But anyway, so it's effective. You can target one Shadoll monster in your grave, except Shadoll Falco, special summon it in face down defense position. When it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you are allowed to special summon this card face down, which means on your opponent's turn, if they attack into it, it's going to get its effect. Next is Shadoll Dragon. Shadoll Dragon is flip face up. When Shadoll Dragon is flip face up, you can target 1 card your opponent controls and return it to the hand. So it's basically a compulsory evacuation device. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target 1 spell or trap on the field and destroy it. One more thing about these Shadolls, you can only use 1 of their effects per turn, so you can only use the flip effect or their sent to graveyard by card effect, and you can't use both. So Falco sadly can't be flipped up from all out attacks. Next we're running 2 Re-Shadoll Wendy, which is one of the new ones. If flip face up, you special summon 1 Shadoll monster from your deck in face up or face down defense position. So the funniest thing about this is I'm actually running Shadoll Construct in this deck, as in the Link monster, not the Fusion monster. And the Link monster requires 2 flip effect monsters. So if you can get this if you can flip this face up and summon 1 face up, you've got another Fusion summon right there and then. And if it's sent to graveyard by a card effect, you special summon a Shadoll face down from your deck. Next is 2 Quad Shadoll Chaos, sorry, not Wendy. Quad Shadoll Chaos, when it's flip face up, you can special summon 1 Shadoll monster from your hand in face up or face down defense position. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can summon 1 Shadoll monster from your hand to the graveyard, and if you do, for the rest of the turn, all monsters you control gain attack and defense equal to the original level of that monster sent to the graveyard times 100. You can only use 1 Quad Shadoll Chaos effects per turn, and obviously, you already know that. So Chaos is actually good for discarding your other Shadolls to actually get their effects, like Nail Shadoll Aerial, which is actually up next. Which, if you didn't know, Nail Shadoll Aerial is another one of the new ones. You can target one of your when it's flip face up, you can target one of your banished Shadoll monsters and special summon it face up or face down defense position. So again, it's a good way to go into Shadoll Construct. If this card is sent to the graveyard via card effect, you can target up to 3 cards in either player's graveyard, or it says GYs if you read it there, but it's either players is how I'm going to say it, and banish them, which is actually quite nice. So if you run Sinister Shadow games in your version of the deck, you have got an easy 3 DD Crows which is literally just sending it to the grave, which is actually quite powerful if you think about it. So those are all the Shadoll monsters for the main deck. Next are some good normal summons, which includes Mathematician at 3, and Armageddon Knight at 1. It's limited apparently. Armageddon Knight can send any of your Shadolls, plus Malicious. The only Shadolls it can't send are Reshadoll Wendy, Quad Shadoll Chaos, and Nail Shadoll Ariel, because they're water, light, and wind. Mathematician sends any of your Shadolls except for Shadoll Beast, which can be sent with Squamata anyway, so you don't need to worry if you want to pull that off. Next, we're running 3 Destiny Hero Malicious, because this is an OTK deck. We're obviously going to be wanting to get into some Link monsters. I was thinking of playing a bigger hero package, like with Mask Change and Shadow Mist, because Shadow Mist can be sent and then like, add a hero or stuff like that. Which might be funny to see Dark Lore in this deck, which if I can do, I'll update this deck profile with another video, if I can actually see a way to fit a bigger hero package into this deck, which will be fucking amazing for me. Next is 2 Trick Clowns. I'm not actually running any more Perform Mages, it's only these 2 Trick Clowns, because I haven't got access to Hat Tricker and Damage Juggler. I'm probably not going to be buying them until I actually get the Invoked engine, which is bloody broken in this deck. Sadly, I can't afford Invocation at Super Rare, which is 25 quid apparently, so I'm probably going to be buying some Secrets of Valhalla. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called Secrets of Valhalla, which is what the Super Rare Invocation comes in, which will actually do me some good, instead of buying the fucking stuff. Next are 2 Danger Mothmans, 2 Danger Dogmans, and 1 Danger Thunderbird. As soon as I can, Mothmans will be swapped out for Jackalope, these will be swapped out for Snake, and this will be swapped out for Nessie. The reason I'm actually running these Dangers, because obviously I don't have any access to any more, and plus they are just extra draw power and extra summoning to get into my main link that I want to try and get into as soon as I start my turn. That's it for the monsters. Next we have the spells. 3 Shadoll Fusion, and then 3 El Shadoll Fusion. These fusion spells are brilliant. 1, because El Shadoll Fusion is a quick play, and Shadoll Fusion, if you're going second, you're going to use shit from your extra deck unless you're going against Dinos or Altergeist. Shadoll Fusion is going to do jack shit for you if you're going against Dinos or Altergeist, but El Shadoll Fusion is actually quite nice because you're just going to be able to get just more shit on the board, like a quick construct or stuff like that. Shadoll Fusion you can also do that with, but it's not a quick play, so no window on your opponent's turn. Next, best card in a fusion deck, 3 Super Poly. If you're not running Super Poly in a fusion deck, what is wrong with you? Like, don't even run it in a side deck, try and fit it in the main deck. Because, fucking hell. Shadolls, right, they want to get their cards sent to the grave by a card effect, and plus, if you're discarding, it counts, as far as I know, it counts as sending it to the grave via card effect. So, you're going to get your monster's effects, and then whatever you send from the field, it's going to get their effects as well. Which is brilliant, to say the least, and that's why I'm running it at 3 instead of 2, which is what I usually run Super Poly at. Next, just the rest of the cards. There's 2 more. 1 Pot of Avarice and 1 Foolish Burial. Pot of Avarice, because this deck loves to get shit in the grave really quickly, so Pot of Avarice is just going to recycle my resources, and Foolish Burial because it's Shadolls. Right, so that is the main deck, which I believe is 40 cards. So next we're going on to a 15 card side deck, I believe. And we are going to, and I'm going to show you how this deck will work. Because seeing the extra deck is actually going to show you how this deck kind of works. 3 Shadoll Construct. Shadolls, guys, come on. Because Construct is a very good card. Sending any Shadoll card you wish to then, say you want to get Shadoll Fusion, you send it to the Grave Construct, link it away, and then you get your Shadoll Fusion. So, it's alright. 2 Winders, because the Earth True King is now back in the game, so they can't banish your one window, or you can't banish both windows with one, so run 2, so they can't actually banish it. I can't remember what it's actually called. It was recently came to 1. So I believe so. True King Amarades, I believe it's called, is the fire one that comes in the Salamangreat structure deck. I can't remember what the Earth one is called, but that is the one that recently came to the limited because it banished shit from the extra deck, which is hilarious. 2 El Shadoll Apcalone or Apcalon or Apcalone. I have no idea how to pronounce this whatsoever. So I'm just gonna call it App. So Shadoll App. It just when it's summoned, when it's special summoned, you can target one face-up card on the field and negate its effects. If card sent to the graveyard, you can add one Shadoll spell. You can add one Shadoll card, from your deck or graveyard to your hand, then discard one card. I always thought it was from graveyard, but okay, you're getting your Shadoll fusion quickly. For the next 3 fusions, we've got 2 Shekanaga and 1 Grista. This is your Solemn Warning. This is your Solemn Judgment. Oh, this is your Solemn Warning in the fact that it negates monster effects. This is a Solemn Judgment, as in it just stops the summon. But sadly, you have to discard 2 Shadolls to actually activate its full effects. Otherwise, you can't activate it because it won't be able to resolve. Because it's not optional to discard your second Shadoll with both these effects, I believe. So it can actually hurt quite a bit. And Grist is only a super bully target anyway, because as you saw, I believe I didn't run any fires in the main deck, but there are a couple in the side deck. Next, running Shadoll Construct, Lamphalinkus, and Underclock Taker. For the Link 2s, these are just generic, and this is for fusion summoning, because it's Shadolls. And we need as much fusion power as we possibly can have. Here's what else you need the generics, because we're running 1 Draco Masters and 1 Broiler Dragon. If this was Brawl Sword, it'd be a lot better, but I sadly traded it away. And I'm only running Draco Masters, got brilliant arrows, 3 pointing down, and it has brilliant battle protection, which I love on it. Like, it's just quite brilliant. Right, onto the side deck. Now we have 1 Dino Wrestler Pranktops, recently limited to 1. If it wasn't limited to 1, I probably wouldn't run it. I was just only running it at 1, because it's limited. And 2, I just had 1 more space open, and I don't like running 3-ofs for some reason. So yeah, I decided on Dino Wrestler Pranktops. For the hand traps, we're running 2 Effect Veilers, 2 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, 2 Ash Blossom, and 2 Ghost Sisters. These are for time, these are generic, and these for Autogeist. Because spoofing and Vertical are taking the piss, so just gonna get rid of their spoofing. So that way they can't search out their multi-faker, which I would hate if it happened to me, but I'd love if I did it to somebody else, which is how I like to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I play multiple decks, so if I play against them, I know what to do. 2 Lava Golem, 1 for Grista targets now, when I slide them in, and 2 Shadoll Construct, when it battles on a special summon monster, you can destroy it straight away without having to go into damage calculation. So this is fucking brilliant. It special summons itself to your opponent's side of the field. It says you can't normal summon for the rest of the turn, but special summons, that way Construct can just destroy it. Next 2 Twin Twisters. Brilliant staple card in any deck, especially with Altgeist now in the meta. And plus just any deck that runs any kind of back row, or any kind of spells and traps like Orcust, because I know a guy that fucking hasn't given up on Orcust, sadly. Just get rid of the Babel and Crescendo, and they have no interruptions on your turn, which is actually brilliant. Unless they run like 2 Babel, which I have not seen a Orcust deck do yet. Next is finally 2 Shared Ride. Shared Ride, I've heard that Droll and Lockbird hurts like cripple spirals apparently. So I was thinking, if they're gonna keep adding cards to their hand, why not Shared Ride? Because Shared Ride is gonna stop them. just gonna allow me to keep drawing cards. So that is my Shadoll deck profile. Obviously not the best Shadoll deck profile to follow, but as far as I know, it can be the cheapest. And plus, some of these cards you can just, like, if you have Cosmic Cyclone instead of Twin, then you can just put in Cosmic Cyclone, which you should have Twin anyway because the amount of fucking time it's been reprinted. Also, it's in the Shadoll Structure deck, so if you're building this deck, you should obviously buy the Shadoll Structure deck. And I've also done a video on the Shadoll Structure decks earlier on. So if you haven't bought the Shadoll Structure deck and you're trying to build the Shadolls, what the fuck are you doing? But just buy 3, you'll get Twin Twisters as well. You'll probably have Pankratops already if you've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh for a little bit. Same with Vela and Ash Blossom if you've been playing Salamangreat and stuff like that. Or just go out and buy the cards. Because most of the cards in the main deck actually come from the Shadoll deck as well. It's only Destiny Hero, Malicious and the Dangers, I believe, that aren't in the actual structure deck. And plus from the extra deck, it's obviously Land for Linkus, Underclock Taker, Draco Masters and Borloads are the ones that aren't in the actual structure deck. But if you do actually buy 3 and you're just going to try and do a 3 of Shadoll structure deck, which can actually be competitive if you build it correctly. It'll actually give you your own side deck with like BLS, Twin Twisters, Lava Golem and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed this deck list video, and if it performs well tomorrow in my locals, then I'll probably be doing a combo video if I can actually find a set combo to do. So I shall see you guys in the next video, where it probably will be a combo video. Bye.